ఆపేసాయి. Hi friends, I Y Narasimharao. Today we are discussing important topic in chemical bond. Okay, already I told you chemical bond is a very crucial chapter in chemistry, like art of chemistry. Okay, today in this video the main contents are what is covalent bond, what is covalent bond, and second one is how to write the Lewis dot structures for these covalent molecules, and third one is what is formal charge, how to calculate the formal charge of an atom in molecule. Okay, these are the main contents in this video. Okay, let's be discussing about the what is covalent bond. What is covalent bond? Covalent bond is nothing but it is simply defined as the equal contribution and mutual sharing of electron pairs between the two atoms are called covalent bond. Mutual sharing and mutual contribution of bond pair of electrons between the two atoms in a molecule are called covalent bond. Okay, here generally this is the molecule of CH4, molecule of CH4. This CH4 molecule is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons between the carbon and hydrogen atom. Okay, due to this sharing it attained noble gas configuration like duplet and octet configuration. In this molecule hydrogen attain duplet configuration like helium and carbon attain octet configuration like neon. Okay, this molecule is formed by the combination of 4 hydrogen atoms. 4 hydrogen atoms combined with this hydrogen atoms having this hydrogen atom having, this is the nucleus, it indicates the nucleus, it having 1 electron at 1s orbit. Similarly, the carbon electronic configuration is, maybe it is center of the nucleus, this is the first orbit and this is the second orbit. In first orbit carbon contain 2 electrons like this. In the second orbit this is called valency orbit. In this orbit the carbon contains 4 electrons. Okay, like this. These are the 4 valency electrons. If carbon wants to attain noble gas configuration, it need another more 4 electrons. That's why this carbon atom combined with 4 other hydrogen atoms to form finally CH4 molecule. This is maybe hydrogen, this is carbon. For suppose it gives the molecule of CH4 like that. In that CH4 molecule, here these 2 electrons are shared by, these 2 electrons are shared by the carbon and hydrogen, these 2 electrons are shared by this hydrogen and this carbon. Similarly, these 2 electrons also, these 2. Totally 4 pair of electrons are present in the outermost orbit of the carbon. Similarly, hydrogen also having duplet configuration. Both atoms attain the stability by the mutual sharing. Before sharing, both are ready to participate in the reactions. Here the reactivity is more, stability is less, but the reactivity is less, stability is more. Why? Because in that CH4 molecule, every atom in that CH4 molecule attain either duplet or octet configuration. Okay, this is called covalent bond. Generally, if only one pair present between the atom, only one pair present between the atom, that is called single covalent bond. If 2 electron pairs are mutually shared between the 2 atoms, then it is considered as a double bond. Similarly, if 3 electron pairs are mutually shared in between the two atoms in a molecule, then it is called triple bond. Single bond, double bond and triple bond. Okay, like that. Next, we are discussing about the types of bonds. Types of bonds. Generally, bonds are classified into different types based on the electronegativity difference between the atoms in that molecule. Okay, for example, if the electronegative difference, if the bond formed between the A and B, A plus B combined to gives A bond B. The electronegative value of En of A minus En of B is 0. Then it is considered as a non-polar covalent bond. Non-polar covalent bond. If En A, electronegativity of A minus electronegativity of B, maybe ENA minus ENB is less than 1.7 units, then it is considered as a polar covalent bond. In this case, it is called non-polar covalent bond. This is considered as a polar covalent bond. Polar, non-polar covalent bond and polar covalent bond. If En A minus En B is equal to greater than 1.7, it is considered as ionic bond. Okay, based on the electronegative difference, we can easily identify the type of bond or nature of bond present between the two atoms in a molecule. I repeat, if the electronegative difference is 0, that is considered as a non-polar covalent bond, that molecules are called non-polar molecules. If the electronegative difference is 0 to 1.7, then it is considered as a less than 0 to 1.7, then it is considered as a polar covalent bond. If the electronegative difference between the two atoms is greater than 1.7, they are able to form ionic bond. Generally, this type of ionic bond is observed when the non-metal atom combined with metal like KCl, MgCl2, like that, CaCl2, like that, NaCl, like that. Okay, so we can identify the nature of bond by using these electronegative difference. These are the fundamental values. Okay, clear? Let's hear what is non-polar covalent bond. The covalent bond is formed by the two atoms where the electronegative difference is 0, then it is called non-polar covalent bond. Electronegativity difference is 0 means generally this type of bond between the two identical atoms. Okay, for example, the best example is O2N2H2, like that. The electronegativity difference between the oxygen and oxygen is 0. Both oxygens are having same electronegativity. Okay, the best example is oxygen combined with another oxygen. Okay, here already I told, here two electron pairs are mutually sharing between the two oxygen atoms. Due to this, both oxygens attain noble gas configuration. Both oxygen atoms attain noble gas configuration by sharing two pair of electrons. Okay, due to this, this O2 molecule attains stability by sharing two electron pairs. That's why two bonds are present between oxygen and oxygen. One bond is called sigma bond, another bond is called pi bond. Okay, in later classes we will discussing about the what is sigma bond and what is pi bond, what are the differences between the sigma bond and pi bond. Okay, here generally the electronic configuration of oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. Okay, the number of oxygen is, atomic number of oxygen is 8. So 8 electrons are present in this molecule, in this atom. Okay, here in outermost orbit, this is considered as outermost orbit. In the outermost orbit, 2 unpaired electrons are present. Totally in outermost orbit it contains 6 electrons. 6 electrons only present. It needs 2 more electrons. It needs 2 more electrons. Due to this, it able to form 2 bonds with other elements or same element. Okay, that's why oxygen combined with here 2 electrons pairs are sharing between 2 oxygen atoms. 2 electron pairs are sharing between 2 oxygen atoms like this. The remaining electrons are present like this. Similarly, in this oxygen also, like this. So here one pair is also present in inner orbit. This is called first orbit. So totally in outermost orbit, both oxygens attain noble gas configuration by sharing. These 2 pairs are mutually shared by 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, totally both oxygen atoms attain noble gas configuration. That's why O2 molecule attain stability. Okay, like this. Next we are discussing about the polar covalent bond. Polar covalent bond means if the bond pair of electron shared unequally between 2 atoms but are not completely transferred, or not like ionic compound, there is no completely transfer of electrons from the one atom to another atom. But in case of polar covalent bond, the electrons are slightly move towards the more electronegative atom. Generally, this type of bond is observed when the bonded atoms are differed with 0 to 1.7 electron volts of the electronegative difference. Okay, generally this type of bond is observed when the 2 atoms in a molecule are differ in their electronegativity values is less than 1.7, 0 to 1.7. In that case, this bond is observed like this, 1.7. Okay, here the electrons are slightly, for example, formation of HCl. Okay, here this is considered as a bond. Here maybe the electrons are present like this. It is considered as an HCl. Here the shared pair of electrons are slightly move towards the chlorine. Due to this more electronegativity of chlorine than hydrogen, it attracts, chlorine atom attracts the bond pair of electron towards itself by using its electronegativity. Due to this, a slight positive charge is developed on this hydrogen, partial positive charge is developed on hydrogen. Similarly, partial negative charge is developed at chlorine. Okay, generally this type of molecules exhibit, like haloalkanes also exhibit. Why? Because halogen compounds observed. In case of halogen compounds, we can observe this polar covalent bond. Okay, for example, haloalkanes, haloarenes, like that. That polarity we can measure by using the dipole moment. The polarity we can measure by using the dipole moment. Here let's be discussing about the what are the properties of covalent bond containing molecules. What are the properties of covalent molecules or covalent bond containing molecules? Here normally covalent compounds are liquid or gases at room temperature. Liquids or gases at room temperature, and some of the compounds are soft metals, soft solids. Some of the compounds are soft solids, and also some compounds like graphite like substances are very hard substances. Very hard substance. Very few covalent compounds are very hard. Remaining are soft solids. Okay, either are liquids or gases at room temperature, and some of the compounds are solids. Okay. Similarly, these compounds are bad conductor of electricity, either in fused state or in solid state, except graphite. Why graphite exhibit conductivity? Later I explain. Okay, here these are soluble in non-polar solvents but insoluble in polar solvents. We know that polar compounds are soluble in polar solvents, non-polar compounds are soluble in non-polar solvents. Due to this, these are non-polar compounds generally insoluble in polar solvents, soluble in non-polar solvents. Okay, covalent compounds are non-polar compounds, that's why they are soluble in non-polar solvents like CCl4 and like benzene C6H6 like this, toluene, benzene like this. Okay. Similarly, the last one is the most important point is the covalent compounds exhibit isomerism. These compounds exhibit structural isomerism as well as stereoisomerism. Generally, ionic compounds, other compounds are also exhibits only structural isomerism, but these covalent compounds exhibit stereoisomerism due to the directional nature of covalent bond. But ionic compounds are non-directional, covalent compounds are directional. It is a very important point. Okay, so ionic covalent compounds exhibits the structural as well as stereoisomerism. Okay, let's be discussing the how graphite exhibit the conductivity. Here graphite exhibit amazing conductivity property due to the presence of free electron at each carbon. In this graphite, this is the structure of graphite. Graphite is made up of completely carbon atoms. In this graphite, each carbon atom undergo sp2 hybridization. Due to this, every carbon atom in the graphite having one unpaired electron. Due to the presence of unpaired electron means free electron. Due to the presence of that free electron, this graphite exhibit amazing conductivity property. Okay, each carbon having one electron like this. By using this electron, by the freely rotation of conductivity is nothing but flow of electrons, flow of current. Current is nothing but flow of charged particles like electrons, ions. Here this conductivity is like this. Every carbon in this graphite, and also this graphite having layer structure. Okay, the complete structure of graphite explained in the next lesson, that is nothing but carbon compounds, fourth group elements. Okay, carbon family. So this is about the graphite. Not only graphite, recently they are invented some more covalent compounds exhibit the conductivity. Some more compounds like conjugated compounds. In case of organic compounds, conjugated alkenes, polyethylene is also exhibit the conductivity. Already in next chapters we will discuss about the conductivity presence in the covalent compounds. Conductivity presence in covalent compounds. Generally, all covalent compounds are non-metallic compounds are insulators except graphite. And nowadays they are invented conductivity also observed in, but that is not applicable for the any applications. Okay, in nanotechnology or material science, the topic is introduced. Recently, they are identified conductivity in some organic compounds like conjugated compounds. The best example is polyethylene. Okay. Let's now we can discuss some previous IIT questions regarding this covalent bond. The question is, which of the following compounds no covalent bond or bonds? Okay, this question is asked in IIT JEE 2018. IIT JEE 2018. Okay, here in these compounds the options are like this. The first option is KCl and B2H6, PH3 and KCl, B2H6, KCl, H2SO4, KCl. Generally covalent bond is formed, either it is polar or non-polar. Generally covalent bond is formed by the mutual sharing of electrons, we know that. And moreover, the covalent bond is observed between the two non-metal atoms or two electronegative atoms. Okay, here generally ionic bond is formed, already I told, between the one metal and non-metal. That bond is definitely it is considered as ionic bond. Why? Because the electronegativity difference between the metal and non-metal is very high. Okay, it is more than 1.7. So here in these molecules, in first option KCl is ionic compound. KCl is ionic compound, but B2H2, B2H6 is, it is nothing but diboron. Here electrons are mutually shared between the boron and hydrogen. It is considered as a covalent bond. It is considered as a covalent bond. In case of PH3 also, the electrons present between the phosphorus and hydrogen also mutually sharing. So it is also considered as covalent bond. It is also considered as covalent bond. In case of H2SO4, the bond between the oxygen and sulfur are covalent bond. Here also electrons are mutually shared. In case of H2SO4, the bond between the oxygens and sulfur is covalent bond. Okay, so it is also considered as a covalent bond. So in fourth option only KCl is present, so this is the correct option. This bond is not a covalent bond. In case of KCl, K plus and Cl minus is formed. Here the bond is formed by the transfer of electron. Why? Because here the electronegativity difference is very high. Electronegativity difference is very high, that is nothing but greater than 1.7. Due to this, here the bond is formed by the transfer of electron. Okay. So the correct option is KCl. Correct option is KCl. This question is asked in IIT JEE 2018 offline, not online. In offline exam, they are asked this question. Okay. So it is very easy. If you know what is covalent bond, what is ionic bond, then only you can answer this question. Okay, easy question. And let's we discuss the how to write the Lewis dot structures. How to write the Lewis dot structures for covalent molecules. Okay, it can be completed in 4 or 5 steps. 4 or 5 steps are involved in this to write the Lewis dot structure for any molecule. Okay, here according to this theory, the electrons are represented by the dots in a molecule. It means the electrons are present in a molecule just represented by the simple dot. Represented by the simple dot. The electrons are represented by simple dot like this. Okay, this dot represent the each dot represent the one electron, and moreover, the main advantage of this theory is it can provides a structure of bonding in a molecule and ions in terms of shared pair of electrons and octet rule. Okay, this is the main advantage of this theory. Give a complete structure of molecule. Okay, and the next point is, but this structure cannot explain the bonding and behavior of molecule. Bonding and behavior of molecule. Okay, but these structures cannot explain bonding in behavior of molecule completely. It means how the molecules behave, like ionic compounds, why some of the molecules behave polar compounds, some of the molecules behave as non-polar compounds, like that. And also it cannot explain the bonding, what type of bonding present in, it is covalent bond or ionic bond or coordinate covalent bond. And also it cannot explain the shape of the molecules also. Okay, this theory cannot explain the behavior of molecule, bonding in molecules and shape of the molecules. Why certain molecules maintain certain shape like linear or bent shape like that. Okay, first step, different steps involved to write the Lewis dot structure. In this, the first step is calculate the number of valency electrons in a molecule. The first step is to calculate the number of valency electrons in a molecule. Here, for example, I take CH4 molecule. In the CH4, valence electron means the electrons present in the outermost orbit in a isolated atom is called valence electrons. Okay, due to this, the valency of electronic configuration of carbon is 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz0. This is considered as a outermost orbits. The electrons present in this outermost are considered as a valence electron. Totally, it contains 4 valency electrons. 4 valence electrons. Similarly, the electronic configuration of hydrogen is 1s1. So it contains 1 electron. So here 4 hydrogens are present. So it contains 4 electrons. It contains 6 electrons. Totally, it contains 10 electrons. 10 electrons are present in this CH4 molecule. 10 valence electrons. 10 valence electrons are present in this CH4 molecule. Okay, clear? And similarly, the next step is, here for anions, each negative charge would means addition of 1 electron. Addition of 1 electron. For example, I take NO2 minus as an example. Here the electronic configuration of nitrogen is 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. This is considered as a outermost orbit. Here in this outermost orbit, this nitrogen contains 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5 electrons. Totally 5 valence electrons present in nitrogen. Similarly, oxygen also. In this oxygen, the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. This is considered as a outermost orbit. Here totally this molecule contains, this oxygen atom contains 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6 electrons, 6 into 2, 2 oxygen atoms are present, that's why NO2. So 6 into 2 is equal to 12 electrons are present. Totally it contains 17 electrons. And moreover, here the molecule having negative charge. Negative charge means we have to add 1 electron. If 2 negative charges are present, 2 units of negative charge is present, we have to add 2 electrons. If 3 units of negative charge is present, we have to add 3 electrons. Here only 1 unit of negative charge is present, that's why we have to add 1 electron. So the total number of electrons are must be added to valency shell. That's why it is also the negative newly coming electron is also treated as a valence electron. That's why NO2 minus contains 17 plus 1 electron, that is equal to 18 electrons. Total number of electrons present in this NO2 minus is 18. This is called nitrate ion. Okay, clear? And the third step is, for cations, each positive charge would means subtraction of 1 electron. Subtraction of 1 electron. Clear? It means, for example, if take an NH4 plus or NO2 plus, NO2 plus is also present, NO2 plus. Already we calculate the NO2 minus. For NO2 minus, NO2 contains 17 electrons. NO2 for example, NO2 contains 17 electrons. That's why NO2 plus contains 17 minus 1 electron, that is equal to only 16 electrons are present in NO2 plus molecule. In case of NO2 minus, 18 electrons are present. In case of NO2, total number of electrons are 17. Okay, can you understand the difference between the NO2 plus, NO2 and NO2 minus? NO2 minus contain 18 electrons. Like this, we have to either add the electron or subtract the electron. It depends upon the charge, either it is positive charge or negative charge. Okay, if the molecule contains a negative charge, we have to add 1 electron. If the molecule contains 2 units of negative charge, you have to add 2 electrons. Similarly, the electron contains 1 unit charge of positive charge, so we have to subtract the 1 electron. Similarly, the molecule contains 2 units positive charge, we have to subtract the 2 electrons from total valence electrons. Okay, clear? After that, by using the symbol of elements in a molecule, after calculating the valence electrons, and if you know the symbols of elements present in that molecule and having the knowledge of skeleton structure of that compound, it is easy to distribute the total number of electrons as a shared bonding pairs between the atoms in a proportion to the total bonds. Okay, it means after calculating the total number of valency electrons and by using our previous knowledge, we know the symbol of that elements present in that molecule, and also if you know the skeleton structure, either it is linear or bent, we know that if molecule having 3 bonds, it is having planar shape. If the molecule having 2 bonds, it maintains the linear shape. If the molecule having 4 bonds, it maintains a tetrahedral shape, like that. Okay, by using that knowledge, we can distribute the bonding pair of electrons according to their bonds present in the molecule. Okay, and the next point is, here the least electronegative atom occupies the central position of the molecule. If the molecule contain different atoms, molecules are formed different atoms, in that atoms, one atom is considered as a central atom, That central atom is nothing but the atom which contain less electronegative atom with less electronegativity. That atom is considered as central atom. Atom is considered as central atom. For example, in case of PCl5, phosphorus is considered as a central atom. In case of CO2, carbon is considered as a central atom. Then we can write the like this structure. Why? Because carbon is less electronegative than the two oxygens. Okay, like this we can select the central atom by using their electronegativity. By using their electronegativity, not like write like this. This is not correct way. Here in this, if you write like this, oxygen is considered as a central atom. Oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. That's why it is wrong. This is the correct assumption. Okay, select the central atom based on their electronegativity. Based on their electronegativity. And the next point is, after accounting for the shared pair of electrons for single bonds, the remaining electron pairs are either utilized for multiple bonds or lone pair of electrons. Okay, after distributing the electron pairs for single bonds, the remaining electron pairs are utilized for lone pair of electrons or multiple bonds. Lone pair of electrons are multiple bonds according to their octet configuration. According to their octet configuration. Okay. In next slide, how to distribute the electrons? How to distribute the electrons to atoms? Okay. And now we can take the one example. Write the Lewis dot structure for CO molecule. CO molecule. Here also the first step is how to calculate the number of valence electrons in CO molecule. Okay, here CO contains carbon and oxygen. Carbon contains 4 valence electrons, already calculated in the previous slide. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz0. So 4 valence electrons are present in carbon. Similarly, in case of oxygen also, it contains 6 valence electrons. Total number of valence electrons are 10. Total number of valence electrons are 10. Here, the moreover, the only 2 atoms are present. 2 atoms are present in this CO molecule. That's why we can write like this: carbon and oxygen. First, we have to, there is no positive charge and negative charge. There is no positive and negative charge. That's why we did not add or subtract the electrons from this molecule. Okay, it is a neutral molecule. So we did not add or subtract the electrons. So total number of electrons are 10, and we can kept the one single bond pair of electrons. The bond means 2 electrons. The 2 electrons are represented like dots by using these dots like this. And also here the electrons are represented dots. Electrons are represented by the dots like this. Okay, first you have to kept the, after calculating total number of valence electrons, then we can write the skeleton structure like this. If there is no problem, only 2 atoms are present in this molecule, that's why we can write like this. And also the next step is to kept the one bond pair of electrons between the 2 atoms. Okay, after that the remaining pairs, 10 electron means 10 by 2. That means 5 electron pairs. 5 electron pairs are present. So 5 electron pairs, 1 pair only we have to kept 1 pair. The remaining pairs are distributed first to the more electronegative element. First to distribute to the electrons to the more electronegative element until it gains octet configuration. Until it gains octet configuration. Due to this, first we have to distribute the electrons on oxygen like this. Then it gains octet configuration. Okay, even though totally till now we distribute only 4 electron pairs, but total number of electron pairs are 5. So the remaining electron pairs are distributed to the remaining elements based on electronegativity order. Here only one element is present, that is nothing but carbon, so the remaining pair is distributed to the carbon. But this carbon attain 4 electrons in its valence shell. It need another 4 electrons. That way we have to shift 2 more pairs, electron pairs from this oxygen atom. Due to this, these electron pairs are converted to multiple bonds until carbon attain noble gas configuration. It means this carbon and oxygen mutually sharing 3 electron pairs, It means 3 bonds are present between carbon and oxygen. 3 bonds are present between carbon and oxygen. Like this, we can write the Lewis dot structures for every molecule. Okay, by follow this step. The step 1 is calculate the number of valence electrons and can be divided into number of electron pairs, and write the skeleton structure of the molecule and distribute the electron pairs to that molecule, atoms in the molecule, until each one attain the noble gas configuration. If any atom in that molecule doesn't maintain the noble gas configuration, then shift the lone pair of electrons to multiple bonds. Okay, like this. Finally, this is the Lewis dot structure of the CO molecule. Like that. Okay, clear. And the next one is write the Lewis dot structure of nitrate ion. Nitrate ion means NO2 minus. Nitrate ion means NO2 minus. Okay, here total already calculated, nitrogen contains 5 electrons and oxygen, each oxygen atom having 6 electrons, 6 into 2 is equal to 12 electrons. Total number of electrons are 17 electrons, and moreover the charge is negative, that's why we have to add 1 electron, so 18 electrons are present. So 9 pairs are present in this NO2 minus molecule. Okay, total number of electrons are 18. So that 18 electrons are distributed to 9 pairs. So next step is write the skeleton structure according to previous knowledge. So NO2 means like this. Now the next step is kept 1 bond pair of electrons between the 2 atoms in a molecule, between every 2 atoms, like this. So here first I have to kept 1 bond pair, and also here also I kept 1 bond pair, and the remaining pairs distributed to the atoms based on their electronegativity. So here in these 3 atoms, oxygen having more electronegativity. Due to this, first I distribute the electrons to the oxygen atoms. The remaining pair of totally 9 pairs, already we distribute 2 pairs, remaining 7 pairs are distributed to the remaining oxygen atoms. Due to this, here I distribute the remaining electrons. This oxygen attain noble gas configuration. Similarly, here also I distribute the remaining electrons like this. So totally I distribute here 4 pairs and here also 4 pairs, 8 pairs I distributed, and also remaining 1 pair is present, that pair is distributed to this nitrogen. But this nitrogen, even though this nitrogen attains only 6 electrons, it needs 2 more electrons. That electrons are either can be transferred from this oxygen or from this oxygen. If you transfer from this oxygen, the bond is becomes like this. Okay, or if you transfer the electrons from this oxygen, the bonds are present like this. So these are called resonance structures. Already we discussed what is resonance structures. So these two molecules are continuously transferred either from this oxygen atom or this oxygen. It is considered as a 1 and this is considered as a 2. 1 and 2. In first case, the bond is present, double bond is present between the one oxygen and nitrogen atom. In the second molecule, the bond is present between the second oxygen atom and nitrogen. These are continuously changed from the one molecule to another molecule. This is called resonance structure. Okay, like this we can write the Lewis dot structures of any type of molecule, okay. After writing Lewis dot structures, we have to calculate the formal charge, and let's we discuss what is formal charge, how to calculate the formal charge, of atoms in molecule, Generally we consider the charge of entire molecule, but every atom in that molecule also having some charges, okay. That charge is nothing but a formal charge, okay. Now we discuss about the what is formal charge and how to calculate the formal charge, okay. Formal charge means the formal charge of an atom in a polyatomic molecules or ion may be defined as the difference between the number of valence electrons of that atom in a isolated or free state and the number of electrons assigned to that atom in the Lewis structures. It is simply said like the difference between the number of valence electrons in the isolated or free state and the number of electrons assigned in the molecule, okay. Number of electrons assigned to that atom in the molecule. It may be increased or decreased. Then the electrons in the free state or isolated state, okay, like that. And moreover, here the formula formal charge is nothing but Fc. It is nothing but number of valence electrons in a atom in the free state minus number of unshared electrons on that atom minus of number of bonds around the atom in the molecule, okay. The formula is Fc is equal to VE. V is nothing but number of valence electrons in isolated atom minus of Lp. Lp is nothing but lone pair of electrons. It means number of unshared electrons minus number of bonds. BO means bond order. Number of bonds around that molecule are called Fc is equal to V minus Lp minus BO. Okay, by using this formula, we can easily calculate the formal charge of atom in any molecule. Okay, we take one example, that is nothing but ozone molecule. Ozone molecule is nothing but O3. Okay, in this O3, 3 oxygen atoms are present. 3 oxygen atoms are having different formal charges. Even though they have same electronegativity, they have different charges in that molecule, okay. But finally the molecule is having neutral charge. That is quite different. Now we can calculate the charge of atom in a molecule, okay. So the first step is, in this formal charge, each valence electrons, the formula is like this. The formula is Fc is equal to VE minus LP minus BO. Okay, here first we have to calculate the valence electrons. VE, valence electrons of oxygen is equal to 6. Valence electrons of oxygen is equal to 6. Why? Because this electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p x2 and 2p y1, 2p z1. Total number of electrons are 6. Total number of electrons in valence shell is 6. So valence electrons are 6. And in that ozone molecule, we have to write the Lewis dot structure for ozone molecule. First, we have to calculate the formal charge. You must be know the how many electrons are distributed for each oxygen atom in a molecule. It can be identified or defined by using Lewis dot structures. If you know write the Lewis dot structure for this ozone molecule, then only you can calculate the formal charge. Otherwise, you can't this. Okay. So first we have to write the Lewis dot structure. So in Lewis dot structure also we have to calculate the total number of valence electrons. That is the quite different. Here just I write the Lewis dot structure. In the first step, calculate the valence electrons in each oxygen atom. So each oxygen atom contains 6 valence electrons. So O3 means 3 oxygens are present. Totally 18 electrons are present. 18 electrons means 9 pairs of electrons are present. The second step is write the skeleton structure of ozone molecule. I can write like this. And also distribute the electrons, one bond pair of electrons between the two atoms in the molecule. Okay. So I kept one bond pair of electrons between every two oxygen atoms, and remaining electrons are distributed to the more electronegative element. Here all oxygen atoms, that's why the central atom is considered as a less electronegative atom. So outer atoms are considered as more electronegative atoms. So I distribute the electrons to the oxygens like this up to it attains noble gas configurations. Only we can distribute the electrons until each oxygen atoms attain noble gas configuration. Then the remaining, I can only distribute the totally 5 electron pairs, but it contains 9 electron pairs. So remaining electrons are pairs distributed to the another oxygen atoms like this. Till now it contains another pair. That another pair is distributed to the central atom. This central atom, now the central atom attains only 6 electrons. Only 6 electrons. That's why we have to shift the one lone pair of electrons to bond pair of electrons, either from this side or from this side. Either from this side or from this side. So if I distribute the electrons from this side, so it is like this. This oxygen contains 2 lone pairs, 2 bond pairs. This oxygen contains 3 lone pairs, 1 bond pair. This oxygen contains one lone pair, 3 bond pairs. So each oxygen is differ in their number of lone pairs and bond pairs. Or if the electrons are distributed from this oxygen, the structure is like this. Like this. Okay. So this is the Lewis dot structure. Lewis dot structure of O3 molecule. After write that Lewis dot structure, we can calculate the formal charge. Okay. This is the structure of O3 molecule. This is the structure of O3 molecule. This is considered as first oxygen atom. This is considered as second oxygen atom. This is considered as third oxygen atom. Okay, then I write any, you can take any one oxygen atom, this one or that one. Okay, so I take this type of oxygen, this type of ozone molecule. Okay, here in at third oxygen it contains one bond pair and three lone pairs. In the second oxygen, at the second oxygen it contains three bond pairs and one lone pair. In case of first oxygen, it contains two bond pairs and two lone pairs. Two bond pairs and two lone pairs. Okay, let's we calculate the formal charge of every oxygen. In case of first oxygen, Fc of first oxygen, formal charge of oxygen 1 is Fc is equal to number of valency electrons are, every oxygen contains 6 valency electrons, and the formula is Fc is equal to V minus Lp. Number of lone pair of electrons are 4. Number of lone pair of electrons are 4 and minus number of bond pairs. Here the bond order is 2. Number of bonds present at this oxygen is 2. That is equal to minus 2. That is equal to 6 minus 4 minus 2 is equal to 0. The charge of this oxygen 1 is 0. Similarly, the formal charge Fc of second oxygen is number of valence electrons is equal to 6 and number of lone pair of electrons is equal to 2 and number of bond pair of electrons is equal to total number of bonds is equal to 3. Total number of bonds is equal to 3 bonds are present. So minus 3. The value of the charge 6 minus 2 minus 3 is equal to plus 1. Plus 1. Now we can calculate the Fc of O3, Fc of third oxygen like this. Here valence electrons is equal to 6. Number of lone pair of electrons are also equal to 6 and the bonds at this oxygen is equal to 1. So 6 minus 6 minus 1 is equal to minus 1. Okay, so the formal charge of oxygen 1, oxygen 2, oxygen 3 is equal to 0, plus 1, minus 1. This is the order of formal charge according to this notation. If notations are changed like this, if it is considered as instead of 2, it is considered as 1, it is considered as 2, it is considered as 3, then the formal charge is plus 1, this is considered as 1, 2, the formal charge 1, second oxygen is 0 and the formal charge is third oxygen is minus 1. So they changed notations. Okay, sometimes they are considered this is first oxygen, second oxygen, third oxygen, or this is considered as a first oxygen, second oxygen, third oxygen, or sometimes it is considered as a third oxygen and it is first and second. Like that, first you have to, if you know the how to calculate formal charge, if you answer the questions, if they are asked in different manners, you are able to answer the questions. When, if you understand how to calculate the formal charge, okay, don't by heart, only calculate the formal charge. Okay, the notations are changed, but molecule doesn't change. Okay, the central atom always having plus 1. Okay, the oxygen atom which contain only one bond pair, it is always contains negative, -1. The formal charge of single bond oxygen is always negative. The formal charge of central oxygen is always 0. The formal charge of double bond contain oxygen is always equal to +1. Okay, like that we can easily calculate the formal charge of any oxygen. It is a very important bit for IIT, JEE and MCET exams. Okay. And moreover, I hope all you are understood very well. Okay, thank you very much. Yours Erramnini Narasimharao.